Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. First of all, I think people have got to, not panic. I mean, there are a number of options that people can look at. I mean, one of them is, for those that have private medical insurance, that's already covered. I mean, saying that's probably it's not something that most people will be able to afford. I mean, you're looking at really high cost. For a family of four, you're looking at anything up to over £6,000. So that is an option. But the other option, and what most people are actually looking at is actually looking at taking out travel insurance. But I think there you've got to be really careful that you actually make sure that it does provide cover for day trips. It is important that they do that. Not all policies provide that, but there are quite a few providers that actually are able to cover that. Again, I mean, one of the important things that people have to be aware of as well is the fact that if you have a pre-existing condition, then that is something that's going to be excluded from the policy. So people need to be aware of that. Something else that obviously, I mean, we'll have to look at. There are instances as well when, depending on your age, there might be some restrictions and some difficulty in obtaining cover, but that's something again that should be available if you actually spend some time trying to source that kind of cover.
So tell us a little bit more about the types of products on offer specifically in Gibraltar, the extent of coverage that those policies give you. You've mentioned some policies that are a little bit more expensive, for example. What could the average Gibraltarian be looking to purchase right now as they're concerned about day trips, for example?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most cost-effective and easiest thing to do there is just to go for a simple annual travel insurance which covers day trips. I mean, that would provide cover for emergency medical treatment as and when required. So I would suggest that would be the best option for people to go for.
And does travel insurance always include day trips in Gibraltar? Is that something we need to keep an eye out for? Also, you mentioned pre-existing conditions earlier. Would those be covered in that travel insurance?
Yeah, so it's really important that you actually check your terms and conditions, because not all policies cover day trips. So it is really important that you actually look at your cover, and you speak to your insurance provider just to make sure that it's covered. In as far as pre-existing conditions, I mean, that is really important that those are disclosed as you apply for insurances. And again, I mean, you'll find that those will unfortunately be excluded if something were to happen, which would, as a result of those conditions. So it is important that you are aware of that as well as a individual.
So what do you advise people with conditions like those to do now?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, those pre-existing conditions, you're going to find it very hard for any provider to cover. So that doesn't mean that you won't have cover in the event of accidents or anything that happens in Spain. So in as far as any treatment that will be required for pre-existing conditions, it is something that you'll still be able to come and see your local practitioner locally anyway. So, I mean, the important thing is that you're covered in Spain in the event of accidents, in an emergency, and I think that is the most important thing to look out for.